Today, we're going to share some secrets. I have a panel of friends that I met at the Obesity Action Coalition convention. They are wonderful, and they're all willing to share their secret takeaways too from attending this life-changing conference. And mine, you guys, oh my goodness, seriously. So I had a secret from myself that I didn't know.
And from yourself?
Yeah, I didn't even know this. I didn't know this. And when I went to the Obesity Action Coalition conference, Your Weight Matters, oh my gosh, you guys. The first speaker that really touched my heart was Dr. Robin Pashby, and she has changed my life. Dr. Robin Pashby, PhD. This is her. And she's going to be a guest on my show in September. I'm so excited. So I can really show her that I said she changed my life during the conference, but to know that I'm doing actionable takeaways because I heard her and I met her. And now back to the Brady Bunch. Okay.
Why don't you introduce everybody, Gina?
All right. Before I tell the secret, okay.
I thought that was
no. I didn't share the secret, Jeff.
Well, share the secret.
Yeah. See. So the secret is for I don't even know how many years. It's been so many years since I have worn, shorts, probably 20 years, and no sleeved shirts. I can't tell you how many years it's been that I have not worn sleeves on my shirts. And I have some pretty shirts, but that have no sleeves, and I'll wear them with jackets. But whenever I wear a jacket, now I live in Arizona, y'all. It's hot here. Y'all. It is so hot. It is so hot here. I've been hanging out with Southerners lately, and Grant. It is so hot in Arizona. It's been 115 degrees multiple days already. So it's either 113, 114, or 115 this last week. That's hot. And to be that hot and not wear sleeves or sleeveless and not wear shorts, that's crazy. That's crazy. But I still have been carrying a lot of shame. And it's not that someone said, hey, wow, you got some big, fat, lumpy arms there. Why don't you cover those up? I was saying that to myself. And I was, so if it's a really hot day and I'm going somewhere, I've had jackets and I'll wear shirts like this underneath a jacket, sleeveless, and then I put the jacket on. But then I have to be very careful because I have to go, oh my goodness, is it cold enough that I can keep that jacket on all day? Because I cannot take that jacket off. And I have been, I've gone through menopause where I am hot and sweaty and miserable, but I will not take off a jacket where I have a sleeveless shell because I don't want anyone to see my arms. And I've been carrying shame and I didn't realize. I thought after 2 years of doing this Anchor Moment show and giving myself my shot live on TV, that I was over it, that I was okay. But when she gave her talk, she let us know, she gave a lot of examples. Do you do this? Do you do that? Do you do this? Do you do that? And I was like, oh my gosh, I do all of those things. And then when I realized that, it brought tears to my eyes. I did not realize I was still carrying so much shame and trauma for being overweight for decades. I did find Jeff was cleaning his office, because I did clean my anchor room and it's still clean, but I have better internet in here. So we're in the living room right now.
Everybody, Gina.
Okay, but wait, I just want to show it's right here. I can even lean over and grab it. Jeff was cleaning his office and he found a picture of when my son, he must be about 3 there. And my son is 27, you guys. He's 27, but he must be about 3 years old there. And I am actually wearing shorts and a no sleeve shirt. I don't even own shorts. I don't even think I have a pair of shorts hidden in my closet. There is no shorts. It's been over 20 years, you guys, since I've worn shorts. And I think the size of my son right here, I was only wearing shorts because I had lost 30 pounds doing the carbohydrate addicts diet, where I could only eat 1 meal a day. But for an hour, I could eat whatever I wanted. We used to call it the pig meal hour. And I lost 30 pounds so briefly. And after I lost that 30 pounds, that's when a friend took me shopping, and I bought for the first time white pants, because I never thought I could wear white pants because I was too heavy. And I thought only thin people can wear white pants. And my friend Colleen was like, "Oh no, Gina, you look frumpy. Let's jazz you up a little bit." So for my birthday, we went shopping and I bought some white pants. And these white pants, oh, I love them. Oh, they have sparkles on them too. There's like rhinestones on the back pocket too. All these rhinestones and stuff. I only got to wear them for, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And then I gained all my weight just piled on back so fast, fast and furious. I wasn't able to get back into my white pants. And so they've been just crisp and clean in my closet for over 20 years. And I'm finally back in them. And I've shared that with you guys that I was wearing those, but I wasn't wearing any of my tops that are sleeveless because I was still carrying shame. But look, I'm in a sleeveless shirt. So I want to thank Dr. Pashby for that. And I do have another secret that was revealed to me that I've only told my husband this week. That is going to be a new change and something important that I'm going to do. But I'm going to hold that thought, and I will tell about it later in the broadcast, because I want you to be able to meet my Brady Bunch here, my special buddies. And they have some important takeaways too, that this truly was a life-changing convention. It was a few days long and it was absolutely fabulous. And there were so many outstanding speakers at it. And so on the top over here, we have got April. Yay!
Wait, what about me?
Oh, and we got Jeff, my husband for 36 years. If you're new to Anchor Moments, we've been married for a long time. My name is Gina. I've been on a Mounjaro journey. I'm going to be taking my 134th 15 milligram shot of Mounjaro. And I did start at 2.5 milligrams. So I don't know how many 15 milligrams I've taken, but a lot. And but it's my 134th Mounjaro shot ever. I'm taking that today, later in the live as well, because I have type 2 diabetes and I battle the disease of obesity. And my husband, Jeff, is just very supportive. And he does not have type 2 diabetes, but he's on a weight loss journey himself. And then next to me here on the top, how do I go? This way. And everything is all opposite here. There we go. On the top, we have April. Yay!
Hi, Gina. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Jeff.
Yeah.
So exciting. I'm so excited to be here on Mounjaro Monday. Can I just tell you, from coming out of the bushes in the comment section, this is so exciting.
Yeah. This is April's first time ever being on a YouTube live. Have you been on anybody else's GLP-1 journey channels?
Never.
All right. Yay. So you are new. Wow. And we're outing you now. what can you share? What are you willing to share with us about your journey so far, April?
Well, like you, Dr. Robin Pashby had a huge impact on my entire experience at the convention. And as you can see, I'm also wearing sleeveless tonight in honor of her
Yay!
revelation
Woo-hoo!
to me that, we are allowed to occupy our own space. And what I took away from her session in particular is that I carry a bias. And I think normally a lot of us think about having a bias against someone else, but I
Mhm.
have it against even my own self. And that was shocking.
Yes.
So I was so mind blown about that. And I'm just excited to have the chance to talk about it here.
Oh, thank you so much, April. Yeah, she made me cry when she said that. And I realized, oh, crap, I am still bullying myself. I thought I stopped
Mhm.
that, but nope, I have. But I want to stop it. I'm going to work real hard at it. And do you take any of the GLP-1? Because not everybody who went to the OAC did. It's an obesity conference, but it's equal opportunity. There were people there who've had surgeries, some of those different stomach surgeries. And then there's some people that have body positivity, and they're like,
Mhm.
they're living life
Mhm.
and
Absolutely.
not
Wearing their
doing
white jeans.
right, but they were still there in support,
Mhm.
and to hear what options there were if they ever decide to try any of the options, and to be in a place in a no judgment zone where we all could be kind to one another was really pretty amazing. So I don't even know. I don't know if I
Yeah.
had talked to you about it. Are you on a GLP-1?
I am so thankful to be on compounded tirzepatide. I take 15 milligrams. Shot day is tomorrow, and I look forward to it every week. It
Me
just
too.
made such a huge difference in my life.
Oh, that is so good to hear, April. And now, below me, directly below me, is our special shipmate that we all know and love. And she's in our chat all the time, but she's not usually on our screens. And that is Traveling T. Yay! Also
Thank
coming
you.
to us from Florida.
Well, thank you for having me, Gina. When I got your message earlier today, most people know I am a great supporter. I'm behind the scenes, I'm in the chat, I check up on people, see how they're doing, but I'm not really accustomed to being on this end. But when I got the message today, I said, only for Gina.
Oh, I love you,
That's the
T.
first thing that came to mind. But it was it was nice seeing you. And I think someone in the chat said, Gina, you look wonderful. I mean, you look fabulous. And so
Oh,
I
thank
just wanted to
you.
tell you that if I didn't have an opportunity to tell you that at the convention.
Oh, thank you so much, T. When I came back, for those of you who didn't watch my weight loss book club where we did chapter 4 of Enough yesterday, but I was able to announce yesterday I made it back into Wonderland this week. I'm so excited.
Yay!
Woohoo! I mean, it's been a while. I hit there like end of January and all of February, and then I went on a trip in February. And when I
Yeah.
came back, I left. I was always between 196 and 199. And when I came back, I was 201. And I had not seen the 190s of Wonderland since. I would bounce around then I started bouncing around between 201 and 204. And I'm always freaking out going, oh, I hope I don't hit 205 because before you know it, it's 210, then 215, then 220. Oh, crap. So it was very scary. But I'm back to journaling again with my food journal. That always works for me, darn it. I wish it wasn't what works for me, but it is what works for me. So I'm back to food journaling again, and not eating out very much. So I really, truly know my calories. And I hit 198 this week. So now I bounce around between 198 and 199 and 3/4.
Harry Potter.
Like Harry Potter, yeah. Oh, goodness. But thank you so much, T. Now, T, you are, you're at maintenance. You guys, T, what do they call her? Traveling T? That T stands for tiny now. She is so tiny. She is just precious. She's itty bitty. She is just 100% maintenance. So tell us a little bit about your journey, T.
Well, I will share with people very do. I
Oh, yeah.
didn't expect to lose 50 pounds. I thought maybe I would lose a few because I didn't know anything about GLP-1s. I just had that brief text conversation with my sister, and she said, "Oh, yeah, my husband has lost some." I said, "Okay, maybe I'll lose some."
Mm-hmm.
Um, so after the first week, I got on the scale. I said, "Oh, I've lost half pound." But this really isn't nothing. Half pound could
Yeah.
fluctuate with water. I was really in the dark. But as time went on, I saw another content creator on YouTube, and she talked about getting a smart scale. And I said, well, maybe that's what I need too. And I said, okay, I'm going to get one of those. But
Yeah.
the weight kept coming off. And then I heard someone on a podcast and something that says, your body may determine your weight. Your body may determine when you're at that goal. So I
Mm-hmm.
never really had a goal for myself. I kept losing, and I said, "Well, I'm looking pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. My clothes are feeling pretty good." So I think I took a non-traditional way where some people may take a different approach, and that's okay too. There
Absolutely.
is no one way. But for me, my primary driver was reducing my A1C. And my last check was at the convention. I stopped by one of the booths, and they told me my A1C was 5.4.
Yay! That's healthy, you guys. Anything 5.7 and below is regular people. Regular people who do not have diabetes have 5.7 and below. 5.8 to 6.4 is
Pre-diabetes.
pre-diabetes, where they're like getting a little worried about you. You're not diabetic yet, but a little worried. And
Mhm.
then 6.5 and above is type 2 diabetes or even type 1 diabetes. So, wow,
That's great.
5.4, that's the normal stuff.
Yeah,
That is
yes.
fantastic.
Yeah, but I feel good. I feel like I have increased stamina. I'm able to do things and go longer and go further
Mm-hmm.
previously. So all of those are positive things.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And that was another cool thing that was a surprise at convention. You could get your A1C checked for free.
Mhm.
I got a liver scan, you guys. I got a liver scan for free.
Mhm.
And my liver, I used to have non alcoholic fatty liver disease. And that has disappeared, but I haven't checked it for a year. And so after 8 months of being on Mounjaro, I had my liver scanned, and my liver disease was wiped clean, gone, just disappeared. And so it's been over a year, and they scanned my liver at the convention, and sure enough, it's still just as beautiful as
Mhm.
can be and 100% healthy. And so it was neat that they had a machine that was kind of like a mini DEXA scan kind of thing too, that they
Yes.
gave you for free. There was a
They
lot
don't
of
give you the
free things.
machine,
Well, not the machine, but
the
they let you
scan.
scan it, and then they had someone to go over all your results and stuff, which was pretty. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yes, they called it an in-body scan, and which is similar to a DEX. I think the DEX is more so looking at your bone. I'm not sure, but if you were to go and pay out of pocket with no insurance, these scans far exceed the registration fee that we paid for the
Oh,
convention.
yeah. Seriously, the registration fee, you guys, it might be a little bit different next year. So mark it on your calendar. It's going to be in July of 2027 in New Orleans. And I don't ever want to miss again. And so I'll be going again. It'll be my birthday present again for me to be able to go. And it was $200. And if you were some content creators would have like a link that you could get $20 off. And so I'll ask the OAC this year because maybe I could have that link too, now that I'm 100% sure I'm going. So maybe I'll have a link on Anchor Moments that you can click to register and you'll save $20. So $180 when you used a $20 off link. Wow. I mean, 180, and they gave us a bunch of meals too. That
Yes.
included a bunch of meals, as well as those medical tests that you could do, and all the speakers and entertainment and dancing and all kinds of fun stuff. It was amazing. What was one of your takeaways, T, before we go over to Valerie here real quick? And then you guys will share more of these, but on top of mind, is something been different for you, T, since you got home?
Well, I was actually using the app, and so I was taking some notes doing some of the speakers, and some things just really resonated with me. One of the sessions was for Dr. Anya, and she wrote the book Enough with some contributions from Oprah. And she said during her panel, we need to move from shame and blame and move towards care and compassion.
Yeah.
And
And not
so,
care and compare,
yeah, and I
care and
thought
compassion.
compassion. Yeah. So I thought about, people, they blame themselves. Who am I or who is anyone to judge someone else? They have already been so hard on themselves because of the years of not being able to lose the weight. But what we should be trying to do is encourage people and stop looking at them as though it's their fault. So that was
Mm-hmm.
one of many takeaways. I got many in my notes, but that really touched the soul, shall I say.
Yeah. That was very soul touching. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that with us, T. And then my other buddy in the corner there, Miss Valerie Scruggs. Am I saying it right?
Scruggs.
Scruggs. Valerie and I, we got to hang out quite a bit. I'll be showing some pictures later, and I already had 3 pictures with Valerie in it, so I didn't have to ask her for her picture because I had some. Valerie, tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey, and then your biggest takeaway, and then we'll share more takeaways, but your biggest one.
Yeah. So, Valerie Scruggs. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm 66, almost 67 next month years old, and I've struggled with obesity basically since the 3rd grade. And, like I think a lot of people have gone on many, many diets and many, many weight loss journeys. And then, with the most success I had was on Weight Watchers, but I would get to a certain point and would just stall at the enough point, right? At that set
Yes.
point, and just couldn't push through. Well, then, 2023 and the whole, I guess I'm going to call it the revolution started, right? And
Right.
and so I was like, where can I get me some of that? Give me some shots. So
Yeah.
I went to my doctor and he prescribed it, but prescription sat there because of the shortages. And so I was, on YouTube watching various creators, and one of them started talking about compounding, and I was like, what's that? And
Yeah.
immediately Googled compounding near me, and lo and behold, like a block, like 5 minutes from my house was a weight loss clinic that offered compounded semaglutide and tirzepatide. So I went and started on the semaglutide because it was cheaper. Didn't really lose any weight. I didn't quite get up to the max dose, but the PA that I was seeing, she and I discussed it. She's like, well, you might want to switch. So I was like, okay, I'll spend the extra money. And I switched to tirzepatide, and I still didn't lose for the first couple of doses. I had to titrate up. I basically had to titrate up to the max dose before I actually started consistently losing. And even then, it's been about a half a pound a week.
Hey, but that's not bad because it's coming off.
It's coming off. It's not coming back. So I've been on since that first visit to the weight loss clinic was 2 years ago in 2024. And over the course of the 2 years, I've lost 67 pounds.
Oh, that's awesome, Valerie.
Yeah. So
now, I want to ask
than
you.
I've been in since I think that when I weighed on Friday, my shot day, I was like, wow, I haven't been this weight since like I turned 30. It's like 35 years ago, 36 years ago. So anyway, so that's where I'm at, and I won't reveal it now, but as we go on, I'll talk about what I might be doing in the future.
Okay.
But my biggest takeaway, and I think you guys have all kind of alluded to it, was just to be kinder to myself.
Yeah.
I spent all those years, feeling like a failure, beating myself up. And even since I've been on, GLP-1s going, why aren't you losing it faster? Why aren't you losing it, more? And, I'm doing all the things, and what's wrong with me? And then at the same time, looking in the mirror at all the sagging skin and everything else going, oh man, I'm going to have surgery. So, which after talking to a few people, I'm starting to think I'm not going to be having surgery. I think I'm going to. So since I've been back looking in the mirror at my body and all the stuff hanging off of me, I'm like, you know what? This is who I am. And this is, me, and I love me. And
that's the most important part.
Yes. So
this is me and I love me.
Yes.
That's so huge.
Yes. So that's probably the biggest thing I took away was just, there were several speakers that talked about being kinder to yourself. And I lost count of how many times I actually cried during sessions. Because that would just hit me right in the heart, and I'd be like, oh my God, that's me. And, why have I done, why have I been beating myself up like this? So anyway, that was my biggest takeaway.
And that's gigantic. Some people go to counseling for years trying to reach that point, and that is huge. And you said a couple of things that I just want to ask. So you said that you were 67 and you had to pay for compounded. So you do not have type 2 diabetes? Do you mind me asking?
I do not.
Okay, I thought that might be the case.
Yeah, that was one of the things I used to say. I'm a modern medical miracle because someone at my size, I actually used to weigh 100 pounds more than I do now. And I had lost 40 pounds on Weight Watchers. So 100 pounds ago, normal blood pressure, normal blood sugar, normal cholesterol. But the one thing were my joints. I mean, I was starting my back issues now, and I'm actually going to be having a knee replacement in October. And that's all from carrying all that excess weight. So, and I knew it was going to catch up with me.
Well, I have two, and I want to tell this to Valerie, but I also want to tell it to all of my shipmates who are watching this show right now, Valerie's the magic age. She's over 65.
Yes.
And there's that new bridge program. Have you, if you're on Medicare and you don't have type 2 diabetes and some of the comorbidities that you could maybe have your insurance cover, you can qualify for the bridge program, and you can get Mounjaro or Zepbound, because you don't have diabetes, so they call it Zepbound versus Mounjaro, but it's tirzepatide. You can get it for $50 a month. And I can tell you, Valerie, one of my friends that I hung out with at the convention, she I think is, I don't know how old she is, but she's low. She's over 65, but she doesn't seem like she's that old. It wasn't Barb, it was somebody else. But she had her doctor apply for her to take the bridge program, to do the bridge program. And she was so excited, she qualifies. And so she told her doctor, please send this in, because a doctor has to be the one to get it for you. And they have to fill out some paperwork on your behalf to help you get it. Well, it came back as a no. And so she went back to her doctor and said, but I know I qualify because I don't have the comorbidities and stuff. I'm overweight and I'm 65 and over, and her doctor wouldn't resubmit it. And he's like, no, the answer's no. And that's that, and wasn't going to do it for her. But she pulled a traveling T, and she stood up to herself. And because she is my friend, and me and some other friends, we were in a chat group together, and we're like, you need to get a second opinion. See if you can find another doctor in your town and get a second opinion. And she saw another doctor, and guess what? That doctor said, yeah, a bunch of my patients like you have qualified. I'll fill out your paperwork. She got qualified in 24 hours. 24 hours. And now she gets her, instead of having to go to a compounding pharmacy for tirzepatide, she's getting Mounjaro she's going to get $50 a month. Zepbound for $50 a month. So talk to your doctor and see if you can, if you qualify for the bridge program, and have them give it a shot. Also, Dr. Anya shared with us, there is a really cool research study happening right now by Eli Lilly, and it's for people who already take tirzepatide. So you already have to be taking it, and they have different sections. So some are people on Mounjaro who have type 2 diabetes who have been taking it, and some people have just been battling the disease of obesity and taking Zepbound. And what they are looking for are people who I think who are stalled, who have been losing weight on it, but now have stalled, and they've hit a weird plateau, and it's not their goal weight. Someone like me, I've plateaued. I have been between 196 and 204 for over a year now. And I'm doing a lot of the things, I'm getting some exercise in, all the stuff. And my set point is, my body set point's up here. So I've got to really work extra hard to try to break that set point. Yeah. And are you going to break it for me, Jeff? Yeah. But if you qualify for the study, and there's studies in a lot of different cities, so there might be a study in your state that if you qualify and you're part of the study, they will give you tirzepatide for free, and an additional weight loss medication that they're trying to see if it's good enough.
Now, the additional thing might also be a placebo, right?
Right.
Because it's a study.
It's a study. And Dr. Anya knows all about it. She was very excited. It's called the Enlightenment 6. And I met, and get Enlightened 6. And like enlightenment. Yeah.
Or enlightened.
Light. Getting lighter. Enlightened 6. And I did meet a gentleman who's part of the study, and he said that yes, there is a chance that you're getting a placebo with your Mounjaro or Zepbound, but
Now, wait a minute. You still got the Mounjaro or the Zepbound.
right,
That's not
you
placebo.
100% get your
The additional
Mounjaro.
thing that they're going to give you might be.
Right. The additional thing, and it's probably a double blind, so you don't know if you have the placebo or if you have the new weight loss medication, and neither does the person giving it to you, because it's it's probably double blind, would be my guess. But he said that like at least 70% of the people are getting the real deal medication. So a little less than 30% are getting the placebo. So there's a good chance you might even get that second medication, but you're not going to lose your current one. And then the other joy is, you're helping science, you're helping future generations when you're willing to do this, and they watch you. So you're getting all kinds of medical tests that you're not paying for when you go and you're a part of it. But it's another opportunity that you could get your medication for free, and maybe an additional medication if you're willing, if you qualify.
Yeah,
So I just
and
wanted to throw out those two out there.
thing. You just revealed my thing. I was going to
Oh,
reveal.
I'm sorry. I just was
That's
so
okay.
excited when you said you
Well,
were 67 and you had to pay out of pocket. And I'm like,
Well,
let's save
I'm
you
still
some
working.
money.
I'm still working, so I still have employer paid insurance, and CVS Caremark is my pharmacy benefit manager. They had stopped covering Zepbound. I actually did get it covered for about 6 months, and then they stopped covering it. Now they are supposedly going to start covering it in October. And I actually started thinking about, well, I'm over 65, I can go on Medicare anytime. And I actually talked to someone about it. It still financially doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to switch, because you still don't know that, Bridge is only a year, so you don't know what's going to happen after that.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. But
That's why I guess it's just a little bridge.
Yeah. But I did, I talked to Dr. Anya too, and talked about the Enlighten 6. And I went and did right there at the conference, went online, filled out the form, and now I'm waiting. And it said, you qualify, someone will be contacting you. So
Wow.
I still have to be, I'm sure there's more screening that has to be done. So I'm still not in the study, but I'm hoping, that I will get in and I will get free medication.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yes. That would be awesome.
Oh, that's so exciting. Well, I'd love to have you as a guest again once you're doing that, and see
if it happens,
when you're allowed to tell me, and tell the community. That would be really neat.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. Yeah.
See, that's another life-changing thing. And that was something that you did different because you attended that conference.
Yeah. And I had actually looked at enrolling in studies previously, but my big fear was I would get the placebo, and then I'd be SOL, so to speak. And I did not want to go off the medication. And so that's when Dr. Anya said, oh, no, you don't have to go off in this study. You'll stay on tirzepatide, and then you'll get, you'll either get the placebo or not for the new medication that they're studying. She also mentioned, this is, good for your audience to know, there are other add-on medications. The one where the Enlighten 6 is a drug that's not available. This is testing so that they can go and get FDA approved. But there are other drugs that you can add on, naltrexone, bupropion. I forget what the other one was. So there are other drugs that can be added on, and if I don't get into the study, I'm going to explore those options as well. So
yeah, because there are, she said, other medications you could stack. And she said, Dr. Anya told us that when she, before Mounjaro came out, she would do stacking with her patients of the older meds that were out there. And she'd start with one and make sure that they would be see how they do. and then she would add another one, once they were used to the first one. And she helped some patients lose, she had someone lose like 140 pounds because she was able to stack the older medications together and create something individualized for that patient. And she's helped more than one patient lose over 100 pounds stacking some of the older medications. So, and so she was excited about the opportunities, especially about this Enlightenment 6. Because I was just like you, Valerie. See, I live in a city. You're close to Atlanta, which is a big metropolitan area. I'm close to Phoenix, which is a big metropolitan area. And so there's been a lot of things. But whenever I look at it, I think, but I don't want to lose what I have. If I'm stuck with the placebo, I don't want to gain my weight back that I've lost, but this one would be really worth looking into. So, go ahead and Google that. Maybe ask your doctor. Maybe your doctor's aware if the study is in your area. But be on the lookout for that. How did she get you on it, Valerie? Was there a website? Do you remember?
I just Googled Enlighten 6 and it came up. It's and it's Lily. You can go to Lily's website. Eli Lilly's.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe the best way, because I got Mr. Safety sitting next to me and I can see his head spin. So I think if you go to, if you just go to Eli Lilly's website, and so you're on their real website, you could probably find it there, correct?
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, somewhere on the page it might be in like their little hamburger menu, something about studies or be part of our research or something like that. Because I actually looked into I was hoping to try retatrutide and get in a retatrutide study.
Oh yeah.
But then I started thinking about, well, no, I'll have to come off of tirzepatide, and I'm not willing to give that up to get a placebo. So.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what I was thinking. So I've been looking for that and thinking, I could get free retatrutide and be able to try it early. But what if I get the placebo and I lose my tirzepatide? I can't do that.
Yeah. Incidentally, one of the things that Dr. Anya also talked about is for drug studies for every other disease. If you get the placebo and you start to regress in your disease, they rescue you. They will put you back on the medication. In obesity drug research, they do not do that. They do not rescue people. If you're getting the placebo, you're just going to, regain your weight until or drop out of the study is an option too, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's just another bias, against obesity that other diseases do not have.
Yeah. She was pretty awesome. Another person that was awesome.
Are you going to take someone else's secret?
Oh, okay.
Because maybe you should see what their secrets are first.
Oh, okay.
If they have another one or
who wants to another secret takeaway? But then remind me to show after that the doctor in the green dress. Okay. So who else is there another secret?
I have a secret, but it's more of just a reflection that I had while I was at the conference. And that is, when you go to Your Weight Matters, you actually are very important to the doctors and researchers who are there speaking. I mean, you read the Enough book by Dr. Anya and Oprah, and you think they're superstars. What could I ever bring to the table that could support what they're doing? I look at them as the end all be all of the knowledge, but they all, each and every one of them, said how important it was that we gave them feedback. And I got the chance to participate even in a focus group with one of the pharmaceutical companies that was there, because when you're at the obesity conference, you are actually representing such an important market. It's like the
Mm-hmm.
upside down world of being an overweight person. You often struggle to be seen. And I
Right.
feel
Yes.
like when you go to the conference, it's like you walk into an embrace
Mm-hmm.
and you see others and yourself in a totally different way.
That was pretty amazing. Hey T, do you have a comment with that too?
I did. I was reading the comments, and Darium asked a question for the panel, and he wanted to know, did we feel seen and heard at the convention? And I think April just responded to that. And then the second part of his question was, um, did we feel that we would do something differently or something like that as a result of the convention, or what have we changed? And I echo what April has said. They were more interested in us as the attendees as equally as we were in all the speakers. We were in awe, but they were in awe too. It worked
Yeah.
both ways. And I stopped one of the board members in the hallway and I asked him, I said, well, how many people are in attendance this year? He said, oh, about 450. This started as a very small convention, but for them, 400 people that would be interested, they were just so thrilled that we were there. And I
Mm-hmm.
shared to people what Gina said, the amount of education, the amount of support, networking. $200 doesn't scratch the surface. It
Yeah.
doesn't.
Right. Yeah.
No. Yeah, that's why I'll never miss it again.
Yeah.
I mean, it
And
was like years of psychotherapy in a week,
yeah,
you know?
And science
Yeah.
education. I mean, some of the
Yeah.
information we saw was like that one chart where there was like, the less you eat, the fewer calories you burn. It was like, oh, it's like,
Been there,
no
done that.
wonder.
yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I want to just share with the group something there during the panel discussion on opening night. Nikki was one of the panelists and she's on the board, and she chose to use surgery to get where she wanted to be as far as transformation. And Nikki said a few things that really touched me. She said, obesity is a condition
Which is,
that Nikki has. That's her. She
Mm-hmm.
said, she finds no reason. You don't have to explain to people. You don't have to apologize. And you don't need permission to take up space. And when she said that, I was like, that's enough. I mean, this is how
Mm-hmm.
it started on opening night. And those comments just really touched me. Yes, that's Nikki. She's she's
That's
she's
Nikki.
she's beautiful.
she's wonderful.
Yes. And she is so confident and fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. And she was, I think she's like the board chair of the OAC. And next year we got to meet the person because she'll step down January 1st. And then the next, we got to meet the next person who's going to take over, and she got to speak for a bit. But Nikki said, I think a friend told her about the OAC convention a couple of conventions ago, and she never heard of the OAC. She showed up, and it touched her heart in such a huge way. She ended up uh, being a part of everything, and then the president of the board.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah. But so many times people find themselves apologizing. She said, you don't have to explain, you don't have to apologize. Several years ago, I was running late to the gate. I
mm-hmm.
was flying somewhere, and there was a gentleman who's already there. And then I said, excuse me, I have the window seat. And he stood up, and as soon as he sat down, he said, I'm so sorry. I said, what are you apologizing for? Yes, he was on the taller side, and most people that have met me in person, I'm short. But yes, his leg was over on my side, but he didn't need to apologize. So I made him feel as though it's okay. I mean, there's
Yeah.
more room. He has to be comfortable just like I have to be comfortable on the flight. And if his leg just happened to go over my side, I mean, so be it. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah. Wow. Yep.
That
But
is
don't
such a profound
apologize.
realization, T.
Yeah, anyone
That's
who's listening
incredible.
in, don't apologize. You don't have to apologize for who you are.
Oh, that's huge. You don't have to apologize for who you are. Boy, I got to write that one down. We'll call that one. We always repeat Mayor Mindy's stuff, but you do not have to apologize for who you are. Wow, T. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Any other secrets and takeaways? And then I'll show some more pictures.
I think I think this is a good segue into one of mine. One of the during Dr. Pashby's um, talk, just really like just started crying and trying to figure out like what's this about. And she was talking about trauma, and I've done all kinds of therapy and trying to figure out, because several therapists that I went to would look at me and say, well, you must have been sexually abused because you carry all this weight and you're trying to protect yourself. And I'm like, I don't think so. I mean, I like even went through like hypnosis and all this stuff to like try to uncover, like maybe it was a repressed memory. And I'm like, it didn't happen. Or if it did, it's way down in there. But what I think the trauma is, what revealed itself to me in that moment while Dr. Passion was talking was, I think my trauma was trying to not apologize, like like always not letting my size keep me from doing things and trying to present myself in public like I would, ignore my size, pretty much. And I think, that just I realized that just probably, or not probably, did just wear on me and
Yeah.
just wore me out. And, I just kind of realized that in that moment with Dr. Pashby that I was repressing all of this, did I really deserve to be here? Did I deserve to take up the space? And, going, well, I'll show you, but not really knowing it on the inside, right? Just being able to project it on the outside. So,
And the hardest thing when we bully ourselves, we can't escape ourselves. We're with ourselves 24/7. You know, when I started gaining a little bit of weight and I wasn't in Wonderland anymore, and I'd already had celebrated with you guys that yay, I finally hit Wonderland and showing off me wearing white pants again. And I just thought I was never going to be 200 pounds again, that I had it, I was done with that. And when the weight creep back, or not all back, but just even, just crossed over to the 200s, I didn't want to share my weight anymore. Because I thought I've got to get this off. I'll get it off. And then week after week after week, it wasn't coming off, and it wasn't coming off, and it wasn't coming off. I started getting nightmares because I was bullying myself even while I was sleeping. And then I thought, oh, good grief, I feel like a liar. I can't lie anymore. And so then I had to come clean. And I'm part of a chat group of some very special friends, and we kind of call ourselves a mastermind group, and we're all on a GLP-1 except for Jeff, he's the only one that's not in this mastermind group. And I let him know first, I'm not in Wonderland anymore, and I'm having nightmares about it, and I'm going to talk about it on my live. And and it's so silly. I was scared to talk about it, but I was, because I felt like a fraud and a phony. These are the things that I'm telling myself, just oh, dang it. You're so slow. It's taken you 2 years to lose 50 pounds, and you've got followers who are following you and they're really kind to you all the time. And now you're sliding back. I just, but I felt so much better when I came clean. And I have the people who watch Anchor Moments, you are the kindest people on the planet. And everyone was so kind to me. And they were like, you'll get it off, Gina. This is just temporary. You'll get it off. And it's taken a few weeks since I did that video, but I'm fine. It's finally off. I can't believe it. I'm still 198, between 198, 199 ish, almost to 200, but that's where I'm bouncing back and forth now.
Gina, I just have to say, when I met you at the conference, what I wanted to say to you was, thank you for your vulnerability. And I did say that to you. And I was referring to the day that you came out and said that you weren't in Wonderland anymore. Because you said that, I could release my weight shame. Because I said to myself, if even Gina is having fluctuations like that, then it must not be something that everyone doesn't struggle with. We must all be in this boat. And it just made me feel so much better and more understood and uplifted, because I knew we'd get through it together. And so I do thank you for saying that. I know it was hard for you, but it was so meaningful for us.
We're all in the same boat because that's why we're shipmates.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's why we're shipmates. And that's why I let my shipmates pick what they wanted to be called. And we had a poll, and that's what they chose, was shipmates. And I loved that that's what they chose, because we are all on the same boat.
Yeah.
And April, what you gave to me by telling me that, you're the power of one. And that's why I share all my secrets anymore. I don't have secrets from you guys. You get it all, because it's my hope that by sharing, there'll be at least one person it can make a difference for. And I really appreciate that you said that. And I want to tell you, my little mastermind group, when I said that I was going to do this, when it was a few minutes for me to go live, they reminded each other, remember, Gina's going live and she really needs our support today, and they were there for me because they knew it was hard for me. And then that's my other secret that I haven't said yet, and I didn't say last week. I didn't share it because I didn't know it. So last week, so another thing I discovered, and I've mentioned to you guys, so it's not a complete secret, but the secret comes after. But I said, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago or so, I brought up that there's a possibility I may have adult ADHD, but without the hyperactivity. Hyperactive mouth, but the rest of my body's not hyper. And I've always had a hyperactive mouth, even since I was a kid. But that's the only part of me that'd be hyper. The rest of me is not hyperactive, but I have the attention deficit disorder part. And they used to call it just ADD if you didn't have the hyperactivity. And if you had the hyperactivity, then it was ADHD. Well, now they call everybody ADHD. That's the new umbrella. Even though you don't have hyperactivity, you're still under that umbrella. And it was a few years ago that after a girlfriend retreat where they've known me since junior high, they sat me down and said, Gina, we love you, right? And I'm like, well, yeah, you're my buds. And they're like, you do realize you have ADD, right? And I'm like, what? No. And they're like, yeah, you have adult ADD. We've known you a long time, and you really had it as a kid too, but you were a good student. So the teachers didn't catch it. And then one of the friends who told me was also a straight A student. And she said, teachers didn't know that I had it either, except for her science teacher in high school said, you're a straight A student and you're just smart as can be. But the way you get to the answer is so different. Most people, it's more of the straight line, but you're not a straight line. You have a creative way of finally getting to the correct answer, and you get there. But it's possible you might have ADD. And but she didn't do anything about it. But she tucked it away in her brain, like I tucked it away when my friends told me this a few years ago. And then later, she got officially diagnosed, and it made a difference for her. It made a big difference for her. And she gave me a name of a book that worked out really well for her. You mean I'm not crazy, lazy, or stupid? And she said that was her favorite book, and she read that, and that was helpful. And she's been officially diagnosed and has done some things with it. And she said it's just night and day. It's just easier, And so anyway, I signed up to take a seminar, and I told you guys I was going to start taking an ADHD for adult women seminar, and I was looking into it. And last week was my first week of taking it. So as soon as I came back from conference on Sunday, on Tuesday morning, it was the conference was Jeff's birthday present for me, the expense for that. But the ADHD class, I took the free thing, but when you take free stuff, there's always a catch later. They give you opportunities that you could learn more, but it costs you. Yeah. So I took a couple of opportunities, and one of the opportunities, I signed up the last minute that it was the cheapest price. But for $297, I get a live 6-week class that meets on Tuesday mornings for 2 hours. And you can ask the teacher questions, and it's like a Zoom call with 100 people around the world. It was really interesting. And I'm learning a lot. And I've been trying to decide, is it worth it to get the diagnosis at 60 years old? Like, what am I going to do about it? If I decide to take medication, because that's one of the things Dr. Anya even said, ADHD meds can be one of the stackable meds with Mounjaro that could maybe give you a little bit more weight loss. But there's also side effects you have to worry about, because, if you're taking stimulants, you're more likely to have a heart attack, a stroke, or an aneurysm or something. Jeff's really worried about that. So he keeps showing me stuff that he doesn't want me to have a stroke or an aneurysm. He'd much rather have his wife be a little dingy from time to time and lose my keys. And at the convention, I lost my water bottle the very first day, brand spanking new, double-walled metal water bottle with my downsized at sea sticker, my anchor moment sticker on it, gone first day. I left my phone charger in the hotel room. Barb got it for me though, God bless her. But things like that, that Jeff can put up with me being a little ditzy. Why take the medication? But it's in the back of my mind, as a maybe. But so I thought, well, I'd only want to get officially diagnosed if I'm going to do something about it other than take a free class or whatever. And this week, I've talked to some more friends who are adults with ADHD. And one of them shared it's been life-changing for her to go to counseling. Mm-hmm. And there are counselors that can help you with your ADHD, and they know exactly what kind, because it's like a spectrum, just like autism has a spectrum. Some people are just have a little bit of autism. Maybe they can't look you in the eye, but they can do other things. And then all the way to where you could be nonverbal and autistic. So there's a spectrum, and there's a spectrum with ADD and ADHD. So you might not have everything, but there may be some things that are causing you grief. And this friend told me that when she went to counseling, they know her intimately, exactly. And they can give her tips and tricks every week with the things that are on her schedule and the things that she's trying to accomplish. And they understand how her brain works. And she said she's had the same person too, the same counselor for a few years now, and was an adult before she got the diagnosis. And she said, you don't have to take medication. Isn't the only thing that you can take for it. And it's not just reading books. You could do that. And it's covered on my friend's health insurance, that counseling. And so she said, Gina, you might want to just check out with your insurance. And if they cover ADHD counseling, that'd be good. And so I've only talked to Jeff about it, but now to you guys too. When I went to the convention, to the OAC, there was psychiatrists and psychologists that spoke to us, like Dr. Robin Pashby. And then there was another one that was fabulous too. And that is Dr. Rachel Goldman. And I won her book for free. There was a few of us that got a free copy, and she signed it. And while she was autographing it, and she's been on Oprah, on the Oprah show, when Oprah did the big special in 2023, she was one of the speakers. And this is going to be our next book that we're going to read after we read Enough. And she was so fantastic. And guess what? What did they say to us at convention? A lot of them spoke, and they talked about cognitive behavioral therapy can be really helpful so you don't feel shame and blame. It can help you stop doing that to yourself and help you stop beating yourself up. And this book, Dr. Rachel Goldman, PhD, she is a psychiatrist, so she could prescribe medication too. But her chapters, and she's going to be a guest on our show. She said, I told her I would do it for book club, and would she be willing to be a guest? And she said, yes. So when we do the last chapter, we can ask her questions about it. But even the chapter titles, you guys, chapter 1, what does stress have to do with it? Chapter 2, the power of your thoughts, how your brain plays tricks on you. Chapter 4, the power of your thoughts, retrain your brain. Chapter 5, from vision to action, setting goals that stick. Chapter 6, reframing body image, seeing yourself through a new lens. Chapter 7, your coping toolbox. Chapter 8, taking action and making it happen. And chapter 9, planning for success and putting it all together. And when we do chapter 9, that planning for success and putting it all together, hey, that's right, Valerie won it too. We were twinsies, and we were 2 of 15 people that got a free book. This, like, wow, to be able to meet her and get this. And then I'm going to check my insurance, because cognitive behavioral therapy is, it helps in so many ways. You don't have to have ADD for cognitive behavioral therapy to help you. You don't have to have obesity for cognitive behavioral therapy to help you to get over shame and blame. So many people in the world are helped in so many ways by cognitive behavioral therapy. And so I kept hearing that. And I could feel God tell my heart, Gina, this is why I have tickled your heart since January, when your friends were all excited, because I have a bunch of friends on GLP-1s in Florida, and they're crazy excited that the OAC convention was going to be in Florida. And they're like, Gina, you got to come. It's going to be great. And I just didn't do it because it was going to be expensive. And hot since July and Orlando. And so I wasn't going to go, but I kept feeling like I'm supposed to be there. But I kept saying, no, because of expense. and I'm speaking out to everybody in the audience here, to all of my shipmates. So many drug companies like Eli Lilly, Novo Nordisk, Viking, and there was a bunch of more that were sponsors. They had tons of sponsors. And they had people in the audience willing to give donations, because the OAC, Obesity Action Coalition, they're a nonprofit. They gave a lot of people scholarships where they were able to get a free hotel room, because the hotel room is crazy expensive, because it's a nice place. So they were able to get a free hotel room and get that $200 convention fee paid for, and your food, the food was there, so food was included. And on April 1st, you can go to the obesityaction.org website, and on April 1st is when you can apply for a scholarship. You really want to consider going, because it can be life-changing, and it's been life-changing for me. And I'll be taking you all on the journey too. So I'm going to have a playlist on ADHD, and maybe I don't qualify for ADHD. Maybe I'll take the test and they'll go, nah, but I mentioned that to the group. I think Valerie might have been standing in that circle, and Sandy was there, and Sandy was like, hey, Gina, I was a special ed teacher for years. Trust me, you have ADHD. And Julio was in that circle. And he's like, Gina, trust me, I've been hanging out with you all week. You have ADHD. And everyone all just started laughing, because, it's obvious that I probably do. So, but we'll see. I'll do the official, but I am going to check now, because I wasn't going to, because I was like, if I don't take the medication, then why would I go through those hoops? That just seems silly. I'll just read the books.
Gina, it takes one to know one. I have ADHD also, and I did try medication, and I did
What
not
did you
like
think
it.
about the medication?
It made me very short-tempered and very irritable, so I stopped taking it. And but I've learned coping strategies through therapy and other means. I've learned coping strategies of how to deal with it. And so I would encourage you to definitely pursue getting some therapy and seeing if you can come up with strategies that will work for you.
Yeah.
And of course, in the land of YouTube, there are lots of creators out there that
I've been running into them. Some of mine that I've been watching for other things have been coming out and saying, all right, and I got ADHD. And I think, oh my gosh. Well, I also learned that from a friend, a man I met in the woods when we were camping. The last time we went camping, when we were on our way home.
Camping a couple of campsites down from us.
Yeah, but I sat and chatted with him for hours. It felt like it, though. I mean, we sat out at a picnic table. We talked about God for a long time. It was really fun. And then after a few hours, I confessed to him that I'm seeing that it's giving me struggles. I've always struggled with time management, and I couldn't clean my anchor room. At that point, my anchor room was so filthy, dirty, stacked with papers and stuff that it became a storeroom, and the door would be closed, and I hadn't cleaned it yet. And so I was like, it's getting in the way. It's getting in the way with my life. And he said, well, Gina, you have superpowers when you have ADHD, don't you? And I said, what? Superpowers? Because I'm just thinking about all the things that are struggles for me, and when people get mad at me, because of the different things. And
I'm
he
hoping
said,
it's X-ray vision and flying.
you can hyper focus. You can hyper focus.
It's the hyper
Tunnel vision is awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes that hyper focus is really good. So when I did my homework, I getting that ready, that my homework also helped me with cleaning my anchor room. And I used my hyper focus. And another thing that works for people who have ADD to get started, to jumpstart, sometimes you need an emergency. And at an emergency deadline, you get stuff done. Every paper I wrote in college was the night before it was due. I pulled an all-nighter, but I couldn't write it before then. I would tell people, it's cooking up here. It's cooking. But I'd sit down to try to write. But if it wasn't due the next day, I just couldn't do it. And, but I'd say, it's cooking. And I'd get other little parts ready to go, the research parts and whatever, but I couldn't write it until it was due the next day. And then it was an all-nighter. I still got an A, but it was stressful, to do it that way. But that's how I did all my papers in college. And so I did that with my anchor room. And so I gave myself the deadline. I put a poll up asking my shipmates, when do you think, I thought it'd be kind of fun, like bets. Who wants to place a bet? When do you think my anchor room will be done? A, I'll have it done in the next 3 days or whatever. B, before I go to conference. C, Jeff will do it for me while I'm at conference. And D, Jeff chose D, which was, what was it? When the day before the zombie apocalypse was Jeff's answer, that D. And overwhelmingly, the answer was C. And that people thought that Jeff would do it for me while I was at conference. And I knew Jeff can't do it for me, because if he does it for me, what he's going to have to do is take a bazillion pieces of paper and try to figure out what categories to put them in, and to figure out how to organize it and then put it somewhere in my room. And I knew a bunch of those papers need to be in the recycling bin. And the only person who knows what should be in the recycling bin and what should be kept is me. So I knew I had to do it. And so I knew I really had to hyper focus. I had to get it done before my plane to convention, or Jeff would. And if he sorted my stuff and took forever to sort my stuff, I would never put it in the recycling bin. I would just have very packed to the max shelving, and which is crazy. And so I used the hyper focus, and I had the deadline, and my room is so clean, you guys, it's crazy. And it's taken me 3 years of wanting to do it, and I couldn't do it. So strategy. And so just finding out, well, what are the strategies for doing this? And the reason I decided to share it is ADHD, and be public about it instead of just, masking, and that people who know probably know. If you know, yeah, Gina probably has that, but without saying anything to her to be nice. But for the rest of the world who doesn't know anything about it, to say, hey, I have this issue. Is that you don't have enough dopamine when you have ADHD. It's a wiring thing, and you're missing on dopamine. So you do things to get yourself a dopamine hit. And some of the things you do are stalling things, like, I'll watch a movie, I'll do it later. Watching a movie is fun. Playing with my phone is fun. You get a little dopamine hit when someone gives you a like. So I really do like those likes. If you give me a like on this video, I'd really appreciate it. Another subscriber. Yay, you get a little dopamine hit. But another thing that gives you dopamine is sugar, is eating something, eating a snack. How many times in our lives, if you might have undiagnosed ADD or diagnosed ADD, do you go, okay, I'll start cleaning my room or do the dishes, but first I need to have a snack. And you use a snack as a thing first, because then you get that little dopamine hit because you ate something extra yummy. And then you go do your little project or whatever that really needs to be done. Then you go fold the clothes or whatever that, you didn't really want to do, but you just didn't have enough dopamine to just do it. But a snack would give you that dopamine hit. And so I think some of us, not all of us, but I think there's a good portion of us with who battle obesity who might also have undiagnosed ADHD like me as a possibility. Not everybody, of course, but there may be some. So if I'm willing to be embarrassed and go, all right, and come clean and go, hey, I try to be on time for these lives, but sometimes I'm not. I'm not late on purpose. I just
there may be questions
lose it
in the comments, Gina.
Oh,
for
yeah.
your panel.
Oh, yes. And I'm hoping T's been doing a good job watching some of that. T, did you notice some more questions?
Well, there are some, so maybe we just
You
start.
know,
What she's looking.
I'm not sure if everyone had an opportunity to respond to Darium's question. He started off with a QQQ. So if you have that ability, you could find it easily.
Okay. Do you see Darium's QQQ? And we'll put it up on the screen.
And Gina, while we wait, I just want to echo T saying that you have the right to take up space here. You do not need to apologize for having an awesome live a few minutes late.
Oh, thank you. Because it stresses Jeff out to the hilt. Because he wants to be on time.
Well, I think it would
And
be a good
yeah, and it's
strategy.
nice. Yes. Absolutely. But thank you, April. I appreciate that. And here's Darium's question. How many of you all on the panel felt seen and heard after attending the Your Weight Matters convention? Did you find out something about yourself you did not know before attending? Yeah, what's something you did not know?
I can think of something. And
Okay, April.
I don't mean to jump in, but something really powerful came into my mind while I was in the audience listening to Dr. Pashby. And that was that I have some trauma from doctors. I have been in a doctor's office for unrelated purposes, actually seeking cognitive behavioral therapy. And the doctor said to me, well, don't you think this is all related to you being obese? You're overweight, aren't you? What are you doing about that? And I was so hurt and taken aback. And that was probably 25 to 30 years ago. And I remember it like it was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like it was such a release from Dr. Pashby of acknowledging that, yes, sometimes the medical establishment lets you down, but they're learning to. They're learning to.
April, thanks for sharing that.
Thank you, April.
Just to piggyback off that, I was looking at my notes and I'm not texting everyone. I was looking at my notes because I use my phone, and something that I took away, and I hope it brings some inner peace, to someone. It says obesity is a confused biology. We need to recalibrate our set point and recalibrate our enough point. So if obesity is a confused biology, this is nothing we brought on ourselves.
Right.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's not a moral failing.
Yep.
Yeah. It's our biology.
And then another quote that I wrote down from the convention, it says, healthcare is not set up for preventive care. I took that off
so
the
true.
opening night. Healthcare is all about being very reactive. You got this ailment. Hey, I'll prescribe this for you. You got this. Here's another pill. And as my friend told me years ago, he said, you keep going to the doctor. There's a bunch of little pills you're going to be taking. But what can they do to be more proactive instead of reactive?
Wow. Yep.
Yeah, I've heard, I can't remember who I heard say this. We don't have a healthcare system. We have a sick care system.
Yeah.
So, and even, I get back to the obesity bias thing, we can't get treatment because unless we get type 2 diabetes or some other comorbidity.
A comorbidity with it.
And, I don't know, I've lost faith in the whole healthcare system, which, and you meet doctors like Dr. Anya, and you're like, why can't I have her?
Oh, I know. She was so fabulous.
Yeah.
And so was Dr. Kimberly. Her last name starts with a G, and she wore the green dress, and she shared all of the hormones and different chemicals and things that are happening in your brain that causes obesity. and she did such an outstanding job. And she really did a great job talking to the other doctors in the room of things they can do to make it better for their patients who battle obesity. And I thought that was outstanding. And she's the only one I didn't get to talk to in person to invite her to be a guest on my show. But every panelist I talked to said yes. From Dr. Anya is going to be on my show in August, at some point towards the end of the month. And Dr. Robin Pashby is going to be doing traveling in August, but she said she would be on my show in September. And Dr. Ted, or I don't know if he's a doctor, I'm not sure. Ted Kyle was a gentleman I sat next to the first night on the front row of the panel. And when I was reading page 82 of Enough, his name was there. Dr. Anya talked about him on page 82. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I sat next to him and he said he'd be on my show when I asked him. And I'm working with his secretary right now to plan when he's going to be a guest, but he's going to be a guest soon too. And he ended up speaking the last day. And I'm like, I had no idea. I was sitting next to one of the keynote people and he knew everybody on that panel. They all knew and loved him. He has a really great newsletter called Con Science. And it's all about different things that we experience with obesity and advocacy and all kinds of things. It is just phenomenal. And they love him dearly. And I think he's on the board of the OAC, but he was in the audience that first night next to me.
So Darium's question, part two, something that I learned about myself that I did not know before attending is that I can be an advocate. I feel that my experience can touch someone, but I also feel that I could advocate for more awareness, to make people just think twice about how they're treating others. April experienced it, and look, it took 30 years. And there's nothing wrong with April. That just says those comments were so hurtful. They were painful. It's like someone stuck her heart, someone who she trusted and confided it in. So I think Darium asked a very good question. Yes, I can be an advocate.
That's really cool. And that's a big thing that you got out of going there. Did you go to the session, T, where they showed us how and gave us practice focus group, or I don't know, we had round table practice for things that we could say to our congressmen and legislators, and how to advocate for better laws to help us too. And that's how they got the Bridge program, you guys. It came out of people who advocated for us and went to DC and talked to the people in charge.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I took the advocacy training, the 2-hour seminar, and now I'm signed up. Also, you can sign up with the OAC to be on their action team, so they can if there's an action, if something's coming like to the floor of the Georgia State Legislature, they'll let me know and I can run up to the Capitol and advocate. But even outside of that, I plan to start participating in the process and advocating not only with legislators, but also my company and the insurance company and the things that, things that they don't do because it's cheaper not to do them. So
temporarily anyway.
Armed and ready.
Yay! See, that's huge. That's a big thing to do and a big difference.
And now I've said it out loud on the internet, so I guess I have to, right?
Yes. That's how I always feel about stuff too. once I say it, I'm like, oh, I got to do it now. I put it out there. I try to live with integrity. Oh,
Well,
very
I'm so
cool.
excited that everyone is feeling so empowered. I mean, I
Mhm.
think that's the main takeaway I had from this convention was I have a lot more power than I gave myself credit for.
Mhm.
And not because it's my fault that I'm not exercising willpower. Not at all. So it's
Mhm.
just it's totally different than what I thought. And the answer is that we can hold each other kindly and ourselves
Yeah.
kindly.
Yeah. All right, T, did we catch answer all those pieces? Those were such great questions from King Darium.
Yeah, there's someone else asking a question regarding their personal experience on taking Mounjaro, and I didn't know if we wanted to go too deep into that because everyone's experience will be different. And if you feel uncomfortable about the medication or the side effects, it's really best to call your provider. So I didn't know if you wanted to address that.
Yeah, that's a good answer, and but I can say there are a lot of things that your provider can do to help you. Sometimes the side effects don't last that long, and your body gets used to. That's why you started at such a small dose for your body to get used to it. There's a nausea medication that doctors have to look and see other medications you're taking and all your other things that you might have. But a lot of people get Zofran from their doctor if their body can handle that and can stop nausea. People are really
Now,
liking that
you are not
if
a
they can.
doctor.
And I'm not a doctor.
You're not prescribing
No, I'm
anything.
not prescribing.
Not giving medical advice.
I'm not giving, but I'm giving you questions you can ask your doctor about.
Right.
And I always put out there, you can also talk to pharmacists, and they can't prescribe medications for you, but you can tell them, these are the medications I'm taking. Can this over the counter medication, can I take it with my medications I'm taking? Because I found out that there are some medications you can't take Tums with, and Tums is over the counter.
Yeah.
So it's always, and those pharmacists, they're easy. They're easy to find. They're everywhere. Some pharmacies are 24 hours a day and it's free to talk to them. And they went to college to do it. So you're not asking the checkout clerk at Walgreens, hey, you think I can take Tums? I've got blah, blah, blah. But you're talking to a pharmacist who went to college, not just so he can count or she can count pills into a bottle, but so that they know what are the side effects and what things cannot be taken together. And they usually are really kind to you, and they'll give you a good honest answer.
Yeah.
So anyway, I highly recommend that as well. And for me and my biology, if I have a little bit of a tummy ache, I'll take a Tums. If it's still bothering me, then it's a little bit worse than that, or my stomach is real bloated, like, oh gosh, and hard and feels bad, then I'll take a Gas X, and also over the counter, and doesn't bother my other medications I'm on. And but if it's really bad and I think, oh my gosh, I might throw up in an hour if I don't do something because I really feel bad, a Pepsid Complete is like a miracle for me. And I take one of those and
Yeah.
boom, I'm fine. And then I don't have that issue. And I don't take stuff very often, you guys, except for the Gas X. I am kind of gassy. But other than I do have some of the bloatedness of the gassy. So I do probably the most I take Gas X more often, not daily though. And Pepsid Complete, I don't know, every 6 months or so. It's usually when I'm on vacation and I ate something weird that was too
Yep.
heavy for me.
So
So,
someone mentioned that,
ask.
yeah. So someone mentioned that they're cold, and me personally, yeah, it is, but I'm not sure if that's the medication or if that's the result of the weight loss, not
Mhm.
necessarily the medication. That's the way I look at it. And so the body doesn't have as much insulation. I'm just
Mhm.
guessing, but
No,
that's
that's what
my
the
take
Dr.
on that.
Ania said, and she's an obesity doctor. So Dr. Ania had mentioned that when you lose a bunch of weight, part of it is just you don't fat. I think she talked about it also by saying there are some good things that fat does for you, and
Cushions your fall.
it cushions your fall.
No,
Sure,
seriously.
yeah, but yeah, and there are some good things.
Insulation.
And insulation keeps you from being cold.
When the famine comes, you'll be all set.
Oh yeah, you're gonna live. It'll just be us and the roaches.
Evolutionarily, that is making us ready for those things.
Yeah, so there are some good things about fat, but then when you don't have a lot of fat anymore, you get cold. And then another thing, you guys, age. I don't know how old you are, but I remember for my mom when it happened to her, because I remember my grandma was always cold, and but she was older. And then I remember my mom visiting me from out of state, and we're in Arizona, and it was a beautiful day. It was 74 degrees. And I think I had the window open or something, cracked a little bit because it was just such a beautiful day. And she was like, "It's freezing. You got to close that window." And I was like, "It's 74. It's lovely." But that's when I knew, oh, okay. She's crossed to the other side like my grandma, and and she gets cold faster. Now she's okay with living only in Florida. She can handle the hot summers because she's normally cold, and now she's not as cold, and she's not taking a GLP-1. So some of it just kind of happens to us naturally with age too. When we get older, we go from being hot all the time with our hot flashes and stuff to cold, and I haven't crossed over yet. I'm still a little bit more on the warm side, but thank goodness for taking estrogen and a little testosterone. I don't have night sweats anymore, but I haven't gotten to the cold part. But when we was on the GLP-1 cruise, I found it interesting at dinner time. There were some people that were closer to their goal weight, and they thought the dining room was cold. And I didn't think the dining room was cold at all. I thought it was just fine, maybe even a little on the warmer side. So I was surprised, but I was like, oh yeah, they've been on Mounjaro for a while. They hit the point where they've lost enough weight that they're getting colder faster. And their kids were grown, so they're not a young spring chicken anymore either. But if that is the only reason why you'd want to quit Mounjaro or Zepbound, I would hope you'd try to find some other things like hand warmers, sweaters, things like that, because you still don't have the food noise and you keep the weight off. Those are good things.
Right. It's easier to carry a sweater than 50 pounds. So
Yeah.
That is very true.
Yeah. But I've said from the beginning, I almost didn't take Mounjaro because I hate having the flu. And when you listen to the commercials, it'd be like, oh, they have that stomach upset. And I thought, if I threw up every day, well, I'd hate that. I don't like having the flu. I'll rather be fat than and do something else for my high blood sugar than that. But it really hasn't been a problem. I've only had 3 Mounjaro spankings. That's what I call it. It's gastric emptying, where it comes out of both ends at the same time, which is pretty darn miserable. But that's only happened to me 3 times. And I know now, do not have alcohol. I cannot have 2 drinks with alcohol in it on the same day, because I can get gastric emptying from that. And I'm eating something heavy because I don't drink unless I'm going out to dinner with my folks, because they're buying and they're willing to let me have my fancy cocktails I like and stuff. So I know now, if mom and dad are taking me out for dinner, I can have 1 lemon drop martini or margarita, but I can't have 2. And if I have 1, I'm okay. But if I have 2, I'll have gastric emptying. So there's some things. Talk to your doctor, but there are some ways around some of those side effects. But if you're, miserable, like flu symptoms every day, then, well, yeah, maybe you want to try something else. And talk to your doctor about that.
I would say too, for me personally, the side effects have changed. The cold, for example, I was up until literally like 2 weeks ago, I was always cold. So I was always,
Okay.
and now for whatever reason, I don't know why, I no longer have that sensitivity now. It could come back, but
Okay.
the body is an interesting thing. It's always
Yeah.
changing, right? So I
Or
see the
maybe it got
question,
used to it and it
yeah,
figured out itself how to fix it.
how to regulate, yeah.
Yeah, how to regulate.
I see the question there about the difference between compound and TERS. I think they probably mean compound and name brand Zepbound. And I saw absolutely no difference. None at
Yeah,
all.
it depends. I am gonna say it depends on the quality of the compounding pharmacy. It depends. And I also am a proponent of not doing the gray market for retatrutide. It's not approved yet. And there are people that are selling it that aren't even doctors. Like, you don't need a doctor's script. You just need to talk to some bro at the gym, and they have some for you that you can buy off them. And don't do it.
If it
Don't
says
do it.
not for research, not for human use, do not put it in your body. But at least that's my motto.
Yeah.
Good
So,
tip.
Yeah. So it depends, but there are some really good compounding pharmacies that are
Yeah.
wonderful, and they'll make it for you for less money.
Yeah, that's why
Because
I'm
there was
on.
a shortage, and when there was a
Yeah.
shortage, they were allowed to do that to help patients be able to get their medication. But I don't know. There's so much going on with that. Sometimes Eli Lilly will be suing somebody because there's not a shortage anymore, and they got to stop making it.
Yeah.
It's a mess. So I never go down that rabbit hole because it's hard to say. But some are really good and some are not very good.
Yeah.
And some could be somebody's garage, and you don't want to get it either. So you got to be careful.
Yeah, you do have to be careful. You don't want to go with a telehealth that's only been in business for a week. You want to find one that's been around, and there's sites you can go to vet your telehealth, and they vet the compounders.
Yeah. And you know what? Talk to your primary care doctor, because your doctor should know in the area of where you live, if there's a compounding pharmacy that is decent and reliable and good at what they do. They should be able to give you a good referral if you can't qualify under the new bridge program through Medicare or through your health insurance. Did you guys see any other? I really appreciate you guys helping me out here, because there's a bazillion a bazillion comments here that are wonderful, and we appreciate you. But a lot of them are people just saying hi to each other, because we have a great community and we like saying hi to each other and chit-chatting in the thing. So something that really is a question for my team here. This is just so sweet. Darium says, I'm excited you and your team are trying to find something that works. Isn't that great? And I want to give one shout out to Darium. I want to talk to him and everybody out here about the ripple effect. The OAC convention was really small in the very beginning. They didn't have 400 people go. This was one of their biggest conventions ever. And it was very small. But somehow King Darium found out about it. And he knew it was really good. So he told his friends at the Downsized, you should go to this thing. And then the Downsized went, holy cow, this is great. And so then they told a bunch of people, and then they told me, and I wasn't going to go. And I went because Lorraine came on to my live when I did chapter 1 of Enough. And she told me Dr. Anya, who wrote Enough with Oprah, was going to be one of the keynote speakers, and she was going to get a chance to interview her too. And she said, Gina, you've got to go. And it was like 2 weeks before, the conference. And I talked to my buddy, Michelle Frank, who's a new travel agent, and she helped me figure it out. And another friend who's a travel agent, Kirsten, told me she'd pick me up from the airport and I could stay at her house for free and get a ride from the airport and to the airport, so sweet. So, anyway, see, ADD, I lost my train of thought. I was going somewhere with this.
The ripple effect.
The ripple effect. Thank you, Traveling T. See, Jeff, this was too long for Jeff. He's an introvert. He's gone for now. The ripple effect. So, Darian, you told the downsize. They told a bazillion people. And then the downside, and Lorraine told me specifically, you've got to go. And it was the last call in my heart with God saying, you got to go, Gina, you got to go. Listen to Lorraine, listen to everybody else. And I finally pulled the trigger to go. And then now I'm trying to tell the world and hope that there's more people out there that will hear about it and will want to go. And it might even be a bigger ripple than that. One of my viewers lives in England, in the UK, Anne, and we became friends at the Downsized at Sea cruise. And Anne said, Gina, I'm so jealous you guys have this in the United States. There's nothing like this in the UK. Well, Anne is a professional and a doctor I can't remember if she's a psychologist or a psychiatrist, but she's one of those. And so I told her, you know what? The thing I'm the best at, one of my superpowers, is I'm a really good connector. And I told her, I really want to go to London and I really want to meet you in London. Wouldn't it be cool if we could put on a OAC type convention in the UK? And she got excited about that possibility. And then I started really communicating quite a bit with Ted Kyle, who was on the board of the OAC and is going to be on my show. And he writes the newsletter, and all the famous people knew him that were at convention. They all love Ted. And he's going to be on my show. And I'm going to get an opportunity to talk to him. And I want to connect Ted with Anne in the UK. And I'm going to ask too, could I be a speaker? I think that would be so amazing. I've done Toastmasters. You give me 7 minutes, I'll do the 7 minutes. Or if I'm at 20 minutes, I know they have the time clock. I can talk in the time clock and I can prepare a speech for in a time clock, and I'll have it memorized in my own special way, and it'll get all done. I can do it. I think that would be just a thrill of a lifetime. And just imagine the ripple effects from there. And we all have that. We all have in us the power of one, that we can make a difference for at least one person, and it's worth it. And if we can make a difference for even more than one, wow, how cool is that? And Darian, your ripples, holy cow, huge, the ripples. And all four of us here, are you guys glad that Darian said something to the downside so they would put it out there?
Yep. I would not have known about it without hearing.
I wouldn't have known.
Never.
Yeah.
No.
Lorraine told me 100 people at the convention used the code that she gave out.
I used it too. I
Yes.
was one of those
Wow.
100.
I used it too. So if there were 400 people in attendance that registered, 100 of those came from Lorraine and Christopher. That's phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
It's
And
great.
then a whole bunch more came from a TikToker named Mike. And he has a big following on TikTok. And I met him in the bar one of the nights. So nice. And but yeah, and he brought, I think, probably about 100 followers too. So we do have, it's just amazing what we can do. But power of one. Darian, last year, he didn't have a YouTube channel then, and he wasn't doing the messy middle Substack. He was the sweet guy that was in our chats, just being really just a nice shipmate, in the chat. And he just had to tell Lorraine and Christopher, and that was one of the ripples, and just pa-choom. It's just amazing. And we all have that in us. Power of one. Make it, and we all need to work on making a difference for ourselves too, because everybody here on this panel, we all experienced being surprised that we didn't realize we were still being so hard on ourselves,
Definitely.
you know, and to know that we are enough and are worthy. So
That's beautiful.
anyway, okay, what else? Any other questions are you seeing? Vicky's here. It says, probably had no idea what to do differently until you went. Yep. She's really blown away. Hey, and I got Dee Bossway in the house, and she says, yes, they have. This has been almost a 4-year journey. It's Darian. Yeah, it's terrible. I'm all over the place. Oh, and we need to wish a happy birthday to our birthday boy out watching, my baby brother Julio, riding the tide. It is his birthday today, and Julio and I had a blast at convention. It was so fabulous. I'd love to see. See if
You know what
anything
I was going to ask you, Gina? Do you know? Oh, I'll let you finish this.
No, go ahead. Ask your question.
I was going to say, do you know who gets to wear the crown tonight from the comments?
Oh yeah, because whoever does the most comments gets to wear a crown. Yes. So
Good job,
let me
April.
check.
I'm curious.
I'm curious too, because there's a lot of good stuff here. And Kim J just loves all the cool things that happen for Traveling Tea. Dana's Dose says you're a lovely panel of ladies. Oh. And Kimberly says, I remember you saying that, Gina, back then. Awesome that your live enzymes are in normal range now. Beautiful. Yep, care and compassion versus shame and blame.
Yep.
Let's see. And Darian is impressed. You've lost a whole bunch, Val, and he's proud of you.
Oh,
We
thank
know
you.
that's hard.
Thank you.
And we were dancing. Oh, we were having so much fun. And then that was Darian's other question. Just going to go real quick, and then we're going to find out. Don't let me forget, April. And then we're going to look to see who gets to wear the crown today.
Happy birthday, Julio.
And happy birthday,
Happy birthday,
Julio.
Julio.
Valerie, was there a difference between your compound contraceptive? Oh,
we talked about it.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know how you. I mean,
And Darian says you may have to call the testing site and ask them for an appointment versus having them call you first. Oh,
thank you. I will follow up. I want
okay.
free beds.
All right. Yeah, because free meds. I mean, oh my gosh, how cool is that? And traveling, yeah, Darian does know a lot of little birdies. He sure does. And phentermine and
Pyramate, yep.
Yep, or Contrave, and some even stack with metformin.
Yep.
And Darian has signed up, but he's not been picked yet on any of these studies. And Dee Bossway's tried some things. Wow, so Dee Bossway's been doing this for a long time. One of the OGs. I'm trying to see if there's any. Oh, we had Grant here too. We're just a bunch of friends here. I love it. I'm stoked that you were able to have this life-changing experience, and then to share is amazing. By sharing the knowledge you obtain helps your experience to continue growing. Yeah, because we're hoping that you guys can get some benefits out of us sharing, and maybe it'll make a difference. And it was great taking up space with Valerie. Aww.
Thank you.
We know the stories are compelling, but did you hit the like button? Are you subscribed? Thanks, Darian. Gina, it could help you with this journey as well. Yeah, I think so. Probably the getting some counseling and stuff with ADHD stuff. And then I'm going to work on, when I talk to the counselor, I want to get rid of the shame of being overweight too. Darn it. I didn't realize it was causing me grief, but evidently it's a heavy bag I don't want to carry anymore. And there is a shortage of ADHD medication right now. Yes. So if we can do other things, that would be good if we've never done that medication while they're get that figured out and solved before we jump on. And we got Terry, we got so many wonderful people here. Oh, and Vicky's so excited. She just can't hide it. Oh, here's a question. Mounjaro 15 milligrams started on Friday. Oh, that's the body is cold. It'll probably get better, but definitely talk to your doctor. And yeah, it is Jeff. And Darius says, the last thing Jeff wants is an irritable Gina. That was something that I worried about. I thought, well, I'm not all bad. What if it changes my personality, And I try to be loving and kind is one of my superpowers. So I don't want to be mean and grumpy either. So definitely. But I think the counseling stuff and finding some tips and tricks for me to get my stuff done. I need to start writing again, you guys. This medication is not preventative. It's treating an existing chronic disease.
That's a good point. That is a very good point. Mm-hmm.
And Traveling T says, a few more items from my notes. Willpower was never a problem. And they said that to us a lot.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? I think we're about Zofran. Yep. That's the medication that can help with nausea, but your doctor has to prescribe it for you. So you have to talk to your doc and make sure that it's good enough for you. And please ask your doctor. And Gary takes it, and it's making a difference for him. Okay, and that's all the stuff that wasn't everyone saying hi to each other. So let's see who gets to wear the crown tonight.
Oh my goodness.
How do you figure that?
Can you guys see?
Yes.
If you find it faster than me, I trust my panel.
How do you tell?
So what you do, I never can see it on this thing. I always have to do it from my phone. So you click on right next to live chat, it says leaderboard. And then you click that. And oh my gosh, third place, we got Traveling T in the house, and she gets to wear a little princess crown. And Nikki's getting Zeppy, second place, wearing a crown. And our birthday boy, Julio, right in the tide, is also wearing a crown. And it's his birthday today. And for Julio's birthday, I'm going to give a plug that he has been really plugging his t-shirts. And I bought one of his t-shirts at convention. I said, I'll buy it if you'll sign it. And he said, sure. So he signed it for me. And he gave me a ride to the airport. And I had to leave early in the morning on Sunday. So I said, I'll buy one of your shirts. And he said, oh, absolutely, Gina. I'd give you a ride. And he signed it for me. And it is soft. And it is soft just like our Anchor Moment shirts. So if anyone would like, we have 2 YouTube channels, Anchor Moments and Anchor Moments RV. The RV one, Jeff drew that of us camping. And we got them in all different colors, pink, yellow, blue, white. And then the back of the Anchor Moment shirt, you guys, is going to be my goal this year, to take all of my shipmates doing this. Are you happy? Get anchored. Woo woo. And it's in a whole bunch of different colors, and they're extra soft t-shirts. They're not the scratchy kind. And you can find them on anchormoments.com. All right. I think we did most of our stuff here. We just got one more. Someone giving us crowns. Oh, thanks, Val.
That was me.
Crowns. Yes, for our three crown winners. Oh, thank you so much, April and T and Val. I love you guys bunches. People, all my other shipmates who made it this far, this is their first time ever doing a live, and they trusted me and our beautiful, wonderful, kind community to do this live with us. And I appreciate each and every one of them. And I appreciate all of you for watching. Okay.
It's been my honor, my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome.
Absolutely.
All right, friends. Hold on to your anchor moments and make it a great day. Love you guys. Mwah.